Yo, what's going on, guys? Tony here, coming at you with another video. Now, this is going to be kind of weird because this is one of the only times where I'm actually going to be commentating over gameplay and not doing like a live commentary gameplay type thing. The reason for doing this is I just want to kind of discuss the tribute game mode that has been launched on the public test servers. I streamed a few hours of it the other day, and I also played a few matches off stream and kind of have a pretty good, I guess, idea of what I think the game mode is and kind of, you know, what I think its strengths and weaknesses are. So I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about it, and, you know, maybe, I don't know if a dev would ever see this, kind of give my constructive criticism on it or something, because it is a cool game mode in thought, but I feel like it feels the same, even though it's different, if that makes any sense to you. So if you guys aren't aware of what Tribute is, it's basically a game mode where you have to secure offerings and gain blessings of the god for you and your team, and then you have to steal your enemy's offerings if they take them and make sure they don't steal yours. So when you spawn in the 4v4 setting, you'll be spawned in at different points of the area. There will be 3 offerings at different parts of the map, and when you guys are thinking, like, people were talking about, you know, shinobi only, run, grab the shrines, get back, and you're done, you win the game. They have a delay on the spawn, so you could get there even with Shigoki before the shrine ends up spawning, so that's a very good thing that they did right there. And also, when you're taking the offerings, you have a move speed decrease, so that also helps out a lot for dealing with the quicker characters. But you can counteract things in this way, so just as an example, I've played games with like Berserker, who I've found to be pretty good if you're wanting to just go for the offerings and carry those over to your team. You can have different feats, right? So Berserker, his level 1 feat could be Rush, which is a speed boost. His level 2 feat doesn't have anything to do with speed. His level 3 has Fury, which gives him additional stats and speed boost. And the same with his 4th feat, you can put Berserker, so it basically counteracts the slowdown on the offerings when you're carrying them. So if you grab an offering, you're slow, you pop like Rush, you're running normal speed, maybe even a little bit quicker, and then you're able to get away from most of your enemies because they're not able to hit you. If you don't have a speed buff like this or anything, it's basically like run around and try to roll when you think the enemy's gonna hit you. That's what I've noticed a lot. It's kind of just like a cat and mouse type game where people are chasing people over the map and things of that nature. So when you're in a fight, when carrying an offering, you lose the offering when you're getting hit by an attack. So if I block attacks or I'm parrying attacks, you're fine, you still get to keep the offering. But if you do get hit by any sort of displacement, like a feat, like a catapult or something, you are going to drop the feat. Or if you get hit by any sort of attack, you'll drop it as well. And it takes a little bit to pick up. I'd say it takes around 3 seconds to pick up off the ground, and it takes probably like 5 seconds to put it into your shrines at your base. And basically, this is what happens the entire game. You just go back and forth trying to take control of the 3 buffs, which are an attack buff, a shield buff, and a buff that lets you see people over the entire map. So when thinking about this, I don't really see how the IMAP... okay, that was kind of ironic, but how that one's that great. I mean, I guess you can just know where everybody is at all times, see what they're trying to go for, but I think the attack buff is definitely the best. Having the damage is definitely increased a good amount. And then the shield buff is probably the second best because the shield isn't like super crazy, but it is a good shield. And then when you put that in with like Revenge, if you built it up, you have a quite a nice health pool. So I would go probably attack, shield, and then the all-seeing eye, I'll call it. I don't really know what it's called. But you basically just go back and forth for those. You have a time limit that does count down, so if it's just kind of a back and forth game, it'll say like 2 minutes remaining, and then basically at the end of that time, when that ever expires, whoever has the most offerings in their shrines will win. So if you have 2, the enemy team has 1, you win. You don't have to have 3, but once you get 3, there's like a time limit that goes down, and it's basically the other enemy team has to try to take your shrines. So if they are successful and they take it, it should reset time. I'm not 100% sure on that one, don't quote me, but I think it does. But once you go through there, you basically are just trying to take them back, reset the stuff, and then if they're unsuccessful in doing it, the timer goes down basically, and you're not able to win. I don't think actually that it resets the timer now that I think about it. I think it starts a timer, and if they like take 2 away from you and then put it in theirs, then the timer at the end, they could win. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a skirmish, but it doesn't even feel like a crazy objective game. So like in terms of enjoyment or something, I'd say like skirmish, then tribute, then elimination, then dominion, because it just feels more action-packed in the other game modes, and it feels more enjoyable to play. This one, it's basically just like running around, and you're not really fighting that much, and certain characters are going to be better than others, ones that are quicker to catch up with people with offerings, and those who have good displacement, and feats are huge. You get attacked by so many feats, whether it's, you know, getting bowed or catapulted across the map. People are dropping stuff everywhere, and it's just, you know, to get the displacement off of you so you drop your offering. But I did have some enjoyable moments. It is fun, especially when you're getting ganked by people, like multiple enemies, and you end up coming out on top right there. It is a lot of fun to do. I don't know, it feels like there could be more to it. That's why they're obviously testing it. It just feels like you're fighting for like buffs that aren't like crazy. I mean, I feel like it would be more enjoyable if like the buffs were something cooler, not necessarily to like sound kind of dumb, but like attack buff, shield buff, you can see people. But I think if they were more unique in the buffs that they created, so let's say you go to one shrine and then it opens up a ballista on the map for you, so you're able to access a ballista, and then you can shoot at people who are coming over to your things, more defensive like that. Another one, you know, it could open up a bridge or something, or close a gate, kind of how on Sanctuary Bridge when you're playing like Dominion, how you can go up on like either the A or C flag, pull the lever, and it drops down on somebody. That'd be kind of a cool thing to unlock as an offering. I feel like sometimes the gear stats kind of make it one-sided depending on how people are playing, and, you know, with revenge building up in certain characters, like let's just say Raider, just throwing out zone attacks and different attacks, not being able to be displaced in there, and constantly like building revenge is, you know, it's annoying to deal with, but obviously that's what gear stats are for. I would kind of like to see this game mode if it had no gear stats at all, which I doubt they'll actually do. I think it would make it more of a bare bones kind of, you know, gritty fighting game where you're trying to take back, you know, certain things, and I feel like the feats shouldn't give you like boosts. I feel like it'd be like cool environmental aspects, because they don't really incorporate that a lot, and that's why I say it feels kind of the same. Like all these buffs we've already seen. We already know, like, oh, an attack buff, you can get that on, you know, skirmish or whatever. You can get a shield buff. You can, the eye buff, like the seeing thing, I guess is one that we haven't seen before, but I feel like they could really expand on like the type of stuff they're doing, because each time they release something, it feels kind of the same. Tribute, as it is enjoyable occasionally, it just feels stale to me. Their game mode production hasn't been, in my opinion, that great. I mean, they've done like the realistic Dominions and realistic Elims, and essentially that's just who can hit the right one button the quickest, whoever can light attack the fastest and throw out random attacks and switch to different characters. So that's, I don't know. The game modes have kind of been, you know, just set in stone. People don't play those that frequently. Even if I go to, let's see, I'll just take a look real quick at the stream charts, the Steam charts rather, for Honor and for the test server. So if we're going right now for the regular For Honor on at least PC, there's about 2,000 people playing at the moment. And if I went to the public test 3, there's 30 people playing it. So I think it's kind of weird when people they're trying to do a public test server, yet under 100 people are playing it. Like, it has an all-time peak of 222, and that's when it first, and that was when it first launched for Tribute. That's when everybody got on, and then everybody stopped. The 24-hour peak is still under 60 people, so you're not going to be finding too many games unless you're playing against YouTubers and streamers. As you see in the gameplay that's on the screen, like, I was playing against bunch of Rep 40s, Playfiends, Spliced, and they're very good. I'm not in a league of that, so I wasn't going to probably win the game. They're very good players, but it is kind of fun. I kind of get where they're going with it, trying to stay true to kind of like medieval, you know, sacrifice to the god roots and stuff of that nature, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with it and, you know, tried to be more unique away from the cookie cutter things of, yeah, kill people, do the objective, you win. I feel like there could be a more unique thing. I think even capture the flag, like normal capture the flag, would be even cool. Like one stationary flag in the middle, go try to fight for it, grab it, bring it back to your base. Whoever gets the 3 or 5 points the quickest wins. I think that would actually be really fun. It would kind of be even more of like a little change from what we're used to, because and the other things were, you know, we're playing for kills or we're playing to capture zones, but if we're going for like one neutral objective to grab that and then go back, I think that would be a pretty nice addition to the game as well, which I think they could definitely make. So overall Tribute, I give my rating out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 5, because it's like when you first initially played, it's like, oh, this is kind of cool, and then you play a few more games and you're like, kind of feels like the same thing over and over again. But let me know what you guys think if you've had the chance to play the public test server on PC and play it. I know a lot of people don't, because a lot of people play console, which, I mean, the PC, let's face it, is the lowest player base for For Honor, but it's a lot easier, I guess, for them to probably put out the test servers onto PC. So I understand why they do it, but just it doesn't get enough traffic, I think, for them to really get any good feedback and how to, you know, add additions into the game. So this is kind of a random video. I ranted a lot. I hope you did enjoy, though. Thank you very much for the support on my videos, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. As always, my name is Tony. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.